Hello and welcome to this channel, and if you are the first time here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button to see the latest technology videos. In this video we are discussing about SAP Fiori UI5 concepts. So SAP UI5 is a JavaScript based framework that is used to design multi-platform business applications, and it supports various data models and views to do desktop and mobile applications. SAP UI5 compiles on Open Ajax and can be combined with JavaScript libraries. SAP UI5 was initially named Phoenix, and that was later changed to SAP UI5 in 2011. So key UI technologies: WebDynPro ABAP and Floor Plan Manager tool can be used to creating new applications. SAP UI5 and UI5 application development tools to change, adapt or develop new applications. And SAP DynPro is used to include screen personas for GUI optimization. So the characteristics of SAP UI5. So the characteristics of SAP UI5 are well-designed models, easy to consume, performance optimized with compliant of SAP standards, supports Ajax open source, includes a JavaScript library and extensible UI component model, and based on open standards like Ajax, JavaScript, CSS and HTML5. So key components: client and server SAP UI5, client JavaScript library image files, core JavaScript files, test suite HTML and JavaScript files, and server application development tools, theming generator, resource handler in Java, and control development tools, and UI5 browser support. So SAP UI5 supports all the key web browsers and latest versions like Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome and Safari. So SAP UI5 architecture. So SAP UI5 architecture consists of core JavaScript framework including jQuery, and it consists of extension libraries, controls and themes, and it has optional server components. And so we have SAP UI5 libraries, themes, mobile, desktop, control, then SAP UI5 core, data based control base, render, jQuery.ui, SAP jQuery plugins, jQuery, then web server, resource handler, optional. Then UI5 control libraries. So common SAP UI5 control libraries are sap.ui.commons. This includes controls like text fields, buttons, fonts, etc. sap.ui.table includes table controls like rows, columns, etc. sap.ui.ux3 includes properties for UX3 patterns, and sap.tem includes controls for mobile devices like hand phones, tablets, etc. So SAP UI5 and the extensibility. So SAP UI5 support extensibility for application developer and allows to add JavaScript, HTML, UI5 based web pages, and it allows to write new UI libraries and new controls, write plugins for UI5 core, and create controls for existing UI5 controls, and includes other JavaScript libraries. We have Model View Controller concept, MVC, consists of three concepts, and views can be defined using different languages like JavaScript, HTML, and controller is used to bound the views, and models are used with views. Views. It can be defined using XML with HTML mixed or standalone. XML sap.ui.core mvc.xml view. JavaScript sap.ui.core.mvc.js view. JSON sap.ui.core.mvc.json view. And HTML sap.ui.core.mvc.html view. Then controller. Controllers are bound to a view and it can also be used with multiple views. Model. Data binding can be used on the views. So we have controllers, models, JSON, XML or raw data, and views with SAP.libraries. Then SAP UI5 data binding. So data binding is used the UI5 controls to a data source to hold the application data, and it allows to change the controls automatically whenever there is a change in application data. And when you use two-day data binding, application data is updated whenever the value of a bound control changes. And data binding supports binding of simple controls like test button, list type controls, etc. So data binding model types. So SAP UI5 supports three types of model implementation. JSON model. It supports data in JavaScript object notation format, and it supports two-way data binding. XML model. It supports XML data and it supports two-way data binding. The no data model. It creates OData requests and handles responses accordingly, and it only supports OData compliant data, and it supports experimental two-way data binding. Now SAP Fiori UI5 design pattern. So design pattern is a new term in SAP UI development, and when we talk about SAP development or SAP Fiori system, SAP is working hard to find new design patterns that support development in a SAP system using UI5 SDK. And SAP has released different types of design patterns. Master detail. This is the first step in application binding and is supported by split tab control of SAP UI5. And this design pattern supports a list of content and allows lead selection and detailed view. Then master detail. So this design pattern displays the detail of a transaction in the detail section. For example, you are placing an order online and you want to see a confirmation page that displays what you are buying and display detail of the transaction with a detailed view. Then full screen. The design pattern is mostly recommended for displaying charts, pictorial data and various types of graphs. Then multi-flow. This design pattern is recommended when you are using a complex application flow and there is a need to make use of all design patterns to build a working application. So this was a brief discussion on SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori, and we will be discussing more on SAP Fiori and all in the upcoming videos. And if you are the first time here, make sure you subscribe to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button in order to stay updated about the most trending technologies. Thank you for watching this video. Bye for now.